What is going on, everybody? Are you ready for Tuesday market open? I know I am. But first, the intro. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? What's up, chat? Hello, trading and investing community out there for Tuesday Market Open. Are you ready for today? Because I know I certainly am. What a crazy last 24 hours in the FANG and also some crypto markets. It has been wild. It's been crazy. Semiconductors went nuts like we expected. The FANG was the market to watch like we expected, and that is because you guys have big brains, as we know. That's the whole thing here on the channel. There's a lot of very smart people in the chat, and it's awesome to be here with you. Whew, are we going up or down today? I'm not sure. I feel like a little bit of down is in order. We've had some very nice movements up. We've, of course, had our 1 day, our 2 days, our 3 days, our 4 days up. Maybe we're due a little pullback on the FANG. Why, you may ask? Because we hit the first area, that 13.6 zone. Take a look over here on the left-hand side. Resistance. Over here on the right-hand side, little bit of resistance. So it makes sense that this is going to be the zone. We've got FXE apes coming in, says Sapphire. I like that. I like FXE apes. Let's spam some apes in the chat. Why not? Big apes, big brains. We're going to have to get the big brains emoji. If anyone is good on the art, I want to see a big brains emoji. Small brain and big brain, because that's what that's what we're doing here on the channel. We're all about the bit of the memes. Why not have a bit of fun? Tom in a suit. Oh, I'm not in a suit, but check this out from yesterday. I thought that was pretty funny. This is a good one. I'll just leave that up there while we warm up everyone here. So we've got people with FANG. We've got people saying, is April still going to be bull like the historical trend to Shell and Fun? It's already started very well. It's already started. How much do we need? Yeah, so good news is that is looking to be the way. The thing with April months is usually when the March month is a little bit poor, it leads to a stronger April month. Let's just get started straight in with the stat that I always throw at you guys. And that is this one here, the historical months. You know, I love it. I love it too much. I love technicals. I love statistics. I did this test once at high school when I was back in high school, and it said you were going to be a statistician. I guess it's probably not that wrong. And that was the worst test ever, but you answered some multiple choice questions, and that's what came out. 1.5%, 1.6% for these months. Now, of course, somebody said, Tom, we're already up over 2%. You stupid? We're already up over 1.5%. Yes. Different times. Remember, this is the average over heaps of periods. We know that the last 10 years has been very, very different for April, a much higher percentage. So if I was to completely guess random numbers, you would think that April could be into the 5-6% kind of bracket. And the main reason why is because we had those strong technical breakouts. Let's have a read here. Good news from ARK Invest's Kathy Wood's response to Elon last night about GDP versus the S&P 500, Oliver Quinn. I did actually look at that. What did she say? But GDP versus the S&P 500 doesn't work anymore. So that's like the Warren Buffett concept, I assume. Yeah, that indicator won't work anymore, unfortunately. And the big reason why is globalism. Globalism means it does not work. Does not work. Morning, Tom, says Exquisite. Morning. We need the moon, says Daryl Wong. We'll try to get there. We'll try to get there. I want a hypergrowth April. I want hypergrowth April. Come on. Hypergrowth, just sitting there. It's mellowing. It's the forgotten person, the forgotten stock. But I want to start with Google, because Google was forgotten for so long. But then all of a sudden, boom, it came out. It came out to play. $2,218. Did anyone get on this one? Chat, did you guys get on the FANG yesterday? These breakouts were here. We were talking about them. You can't say we didn't say it. You can't say we weren't looking at these technical breakouts and thinking, looks like the FANG's pretty strong. It was a bonanza there. Look at Google go. 2,218. We go over to Amazon. Amazon, another stock that a lot of people were sleeping on. Incredible breakout here. More room possibly as well. Look at this resistance, guys. All the resistance, the breakout has occurred. Pre-market down 0.3%. So what if we now return back down here? What's going to happen? Well, we have all the moving averages on the daily. We've got the 200 simple moving average, the green one. We've got the 50 exponential moving average. We've got the 20 exponential moving average. And they're all sitting right on the support zone. There they are. They're waiting for the market to pull back. So let's say we have a pullback back here. This is the technical kind of thing that we always look for. Then you've got your 33 kind of 50s, this type of zone, or even the highs that were formed through that October, November, and early January pulls. Some pretty exciting stuff going on here in the FANG. Mark McCabe says Google paid yesterday with the dollar bags. There we go. Big money coming. I love the Omega face. That's so good. Truly Messiah. You're the first person to use that. It's very good. XRP on fire. Oh, don't worry. We'll go through the crypto. Altcoin season. Somebody said, Tom, altcoin season's a scam. Maybe. But the point is that if you have, because Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. Sure, that's true. But remember, if Bitcoin sits and hovers or just goes up gradually, and you're starting to see that flow through into the other altcoins as people in crypto, they're not patient. How many of you guys are patient in crypto? There's no crypto patience. I mean, JJ Crypto says, Tom, check out XRP action at the moment. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I love you, JJ, man. You have literally done it right when I needed you to come through, man. There you go. People do not wait. Oh, wait a second, it's $1. No wonder you're saying crazy, crazy. Whoa, hold back. I saw that at 86 cents before. That means it's hit the dollar. It's hit my target. My target has been smashed, 1.04. All right, well, I just had to do a double take because I didn't see that before sitting down today. Oh, yeah. All right, well, we'll check it out. Let's just do these stocks first. So all of the FANG have broken through. Let's have a quick look at the FANG index here. You'll notice the FANG index back into the previous resistance highs. So I would expect a little bit of weakness in the market today just because of the resistance highs being broken, the Nasdaq hitting the 13.6 zone, all of the resistances and everything that we've thought, plus multiple days of growth. Whenever you have 4, 5, 6, 7 days sustained growth, it usually means a small lead or movement back is going to come. No patience, need Lambo today, says Q. Would you really buy a Lambo though, Q? Tell me this. Would you really buy a Lambo, or would you just be buying something else? David Cruz says, thanks for your help earlier. Hey, no worries, no worries. If you have questions in the rooms, we try to be as approachable as we can be. The Discord community is popping. It is awesome. Where is my link? Let me get my link ready for you guys. If you're not in the damn Discord community, where are you? Or as they say in Australia, where the bloody hell are you? That's what they say. Can you believe we actually had an ad for that we sent around the world saying that exact term? That was endorsed by Australia. Here we go. Get in. I'll link one of them. Join our Discord public community and give me memes. There we go. Very cool. All right, it's linked. I've done it. I've done the job. So FANG looks good. Nasdaq looks good. I'm starting to think a bit of red. What does the chat think? What does the community think? Is today going to be down or up for the stock market? Let me know right now in the chat. And I'm just going to go click on XRP because I saw that $1.04. Oh, damn. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I still think that it went a bit too crazy, but I like it a lot. Damn, XRP just smashed my dollar. It said, Tom, you're a moron. And it came off 94 earlier. So I knew it was up around the dollar. I didn't know it had broken through it. And that's what happens when you take a couple of hours off the charts. I did not know that in the last 2 hours it hit this level, but that's okay. I know most things. Just didn't know this one. Yeah, look, XRP, once it got past 75, we knew it was going to be ballistic. I saw it in the 80s before. The dollar was met. Congratulations to people on the XRP. Dollar, phenomenal effort. I still think there'll be some selling around here. You can start to see the selling coming through. It really depends on what the news is. Let me just quickly load up the news on XRP. Is there something actually... Did they fix that thing with the SEC? Let's have a look here. Okay, scroll down. Looks like people are just feeling good about it. But there's a lot of signs saying that this SEC thing is getting dropped or at least getting reduced. So I guess that's maybe the chat will let me know more about this one. Let's see what people say. JJ Crypto says, told you, Tom. You did, JJ. You did tell me. Right, market will retest support, says Mohammed. So what Mohammed's saying there is with the NAS, basically we have a beautiful resistance line that we broke through. Now what Mohammed's saying is it pulls back into this zone, meets with maybe a 20 exponential on the 4 hour or even the daily, and then finds further buying pressure. It's a totally legitimate thing to occur, and it usually happens around these resistances. Remember, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, smash it right now. We need to grow. We need to try to get as many people in here as possible so that we can get probably the best community on the internet, I think, in trading. I believe we can get there. With as many people that are learning so many things, I've seen people go recently in the last 3 months from very little knowledge to a very good level of understanding in the markets, not just through this stream, but just through self-learning and stuff. How many of you guys have improved recently in trading over the last 3 months? Would you say you've improved exponentially? I think people have. I really do think people have. Today is a setup for another move up tomorrow in the Nasdaq. Kevin, I tend to agree with you. So Kevin saying again, bit of a pullback back here and then movement up. Mark McGabe says Square needs to hold 224 area support from yesterday. I would hope so. Square, these hyper stonks, they're not looking the best. Let's check out the US 500. I mean, that doesn't mean be worried because I wouldn't be worried. I think that they're just going to consolidate a little bit. You get a piece of news. Remember, Tesla's news came out. It shot it all the way up to 710. Then it went back to the 690. It was pretty amazing. Here's the US 500. Just a little pullback here coming through in the futures. You'll notice that is a very exceptional pull up with not much pull back. So any movement down here is probably going to be met with decent buying pressure. I would be using the Nasdaq and the FANG still as the main indicator, the main area that we want to be focusing on. David B says, my portfolio says I've gotten worse. Well, that's probably because you're in hyper stocks, David, but don't be concerned. Hopefully things turn around. Hyper stocks can definitely hurt. Q says, I've improved. I do not lose quite so much. That's good. That's good, Q. Losing less is a good thing. This streaming is the only one I know with actual people that know what they are talking about, says Elizabeth Shue. Appreciate that. I have, and you've helped a lot. Never heard of the fence strategy before I found this channel. The fence strategy is what is good, but you've just got to put that fence down. And we'll be talking actually more about a t-shirt that we made there, but it'll be good. So XRP, $1, $1.10 reached. Last time it did this, it actually exploded. I mean, went absolutely nuts. So either there's some insider trading here, or it's hype with the pump and dump before the next bit of news. $1 was my target. Kind of stick with that. I'm going to stick with the dollar. And whenever you're targeting off things, you've got to make a decision on how you get out of something. Is it going to be all? Is it going to be scale back and leave some on? Or is it going to be just something else, like where you just say, okay, now I follow it with a trailing moving average or something like that? It really depends on how you want to do it. But I do think XRP is known to do a bit of pumpy dumpy, and because it's moved up so aggressively, it's hit really the first target. I would be thinking there could be a pullback in here. Do you guys think that XRP's got a pullback on it? Does it have a pullback on it today? Or is it just going to go to the moon? I mean, $2, $3, $4. People are saying it's going to go and reclaim number 3 spot. You saw that before. Number 3 spot's where it's always been before the SEC got involved, or very, very close to that. I'm thinking that XRP is a good coin, but I do feel that overall there are coins surpassing it right now. That's just my opinion. I feel like coins are surpassing it right now. So it's going to have one of those massive moves up with pullbacks, and they're going to be very, very large pullbacks. The fence is proprietary to Tom, says Kevin. I only chuck it down if I'm seeing something good. And I'll take it off too if I see something bad. Way too overextended, says Muhammad. XRP to $12, says Amateur J Trader. $12, man. Oh, I don't know. That's pretty high. So think about how market capitalization is incredibly important when it comes to these. So of course, market cap right now, look how big it is. $46.6 billion. Now, if you have $46.6 billion and it's $1, what happens if it goes to $4? Well, of course, then it's basically Ethereum sized. If it goes to $6, it's even bigger. And it has been bigger than Ethereum in the past. So look, $12 is probably a bit of a stretch, I think. But I like what you're thinking. I'm just not sure whether it's possible. Let's go back over. Let's do our thoughts about the market. Let's just start off here with the VIX. Firstly, the VIX volatility slightly up today. This is the volatility for the S&P 500, 18.1. We have US 10-year treasuries for anyone that follows the stock markets or anything in general. 1.699. I still am not concerned about these whatsoever. I think that as long as they don't go over 2, there is not much to be concerned about, and I fully expect it to get up to 1.95 at some point over the next couple of months. Again, it is not what I think everybody else thinks. Well, a lot of people think it's a concern. I don't believe Wall Street really care about this bit of news. Is this because of the court rulings? Yeah, people are starting to get hyped into the fact that it looks like the case is very weak and there's a lot of things with the new administration. The problem is you're buying the rumor. And what do we say on this channel about buying the rumor? Can someone say what is the concept of buy the rumor and use something the fact? Often it is bad when the fact comes out. XRP chart says pumpy dumpy, says Kevin. Way too overextended. Thoughts on ACIC? I'm a 15-year-old trader and really like this stock. You're 15 years old and you're allowed to trade? Damn. I didn't know you were allowed to count at that age. I probably can't even talk to you about this because you're a bit too young on that one. But I like your enthusiasm into stocks. But yes, sell the news, sell the fact, sell the news, says Mark Q. Sell the DACT, says Q. That's right. Buy more, says JJ Crypto. So you're saying it's buy the rumor and then buy more. I like that. It's the double up strategy. Okay, let's have a look at BTC here because basically those 10-year bonds or 10-year treasuries, the VIX, they're not telling us much about the markets. We know the Nasdaq hit the resistance yesterday. It's selling off that in the futures, down 0.42%. We've got the US 500 down 0.26% at 4,069. Then we've got the US 30, 33,512. IWM, it's closed. Pre-market down 0.44%. So this is the Russell. I just wanted to click the Russell. Russell's still looking okay. Lightning bolt was achieved. We talked about this. This is the smaller companies, so more hyper stocks are in this one. It's the one you want to be looking at if you're trading hyper stocks. So it is recovering. It is recovering. And everything looks fine. Could just pull back here. You've got two moving averages there, the 20 and the 50. So nothing to be concerned about. While XRP pumps, Bitcoin dumps a little bit. So it's pulling back to the double bottom pattern. Let's go to the 2 hour. Have a look here. The double bottom went in play yesterday. Now it's pulling back to this zone. And depending on how it interacts with this zone, it's going to most likely now look to move towards the 60. I mean, this is the peak. These are the troughs. This is the pullback. I would have usually expected it to move up a lot more, but the reason it doesn't is it's in a consolidatory form. It's in a consolidation right now as the other coins do a lot better. I mean, we've got Ethereum at 2060 still. We've got BTC here sitting around the 58, and we've got other coins still really holding well, like ADA still 119. We'll look at that soon. So I think this is a good point of support, hopefully, that is found throughout this session. If, of course, it fails here again, maybe the technicals are a bit off for now on BTC, and it's going to be a hard trade until you get back into a trend, because it really should find more buying pressure at this zone. It's a fully fledged double bottom. It's a fully fledged kind of movement. The double bottom distance is this much here, so it should go that much. It proofs into 60. A lot of things are pointing towards 60,000. It just needs to hold up right here, right now. So BTC, one to watch throughout the session. We'll continue to come back to this one. Craig Bainton says, Tom, look at BTC weekly. Surely BTC is massively overbought and is due 40% correction. Think about the previous cycles. Yeah, so look, BTC, it did fall in this month. Actually, I think it was March last time. But the problem is you look at like the weekly and you say, okay, yes, it's super aggressive and it looks crazy and all of this type of stuff. So here's the aggressive weekly type of trading that's gone on. But you've got to remember there has already been some pretty significant pullbacks. So that's a 26% pullback, okay, top to bottom. Then we have another one over here that's, what's that, about 20%, which wasn't that long ago. So these are fairly corrective ones. Now, if you go back to 17, which is what you're talking about, and you break it down to percentages of how much they've come down, take a look. So that's 40%. That's what you're talking about. And you're talking about the period as well, which is actually into the back end of the year. So that's the August one. Now, where are we right now? We're sitting in April, okay? What happened during April? Well, March, there was a drop-off. Then April was actually strong. Last cycle this is, because this was the cycle. April was strong. May was strong. June was strong. And then we started to see some real dumping. 40-ish% both times in both these dumps. Now, I think we're actually sped up in this cycle. So everything's happening slightly faster. 2-3 weeks in front. Almost every single time we're getting these alerts, they're happening 2-3 weeks in front. Weekly 20 was the bouncer last time around. If we think about where we are right now, the weekly 20 is still quite far behind. In fact, that's 43,000. So we are sped up. I believe we're going quicker, but I don't think there's a strong technical to say we are weak in Bitcoin. There is not one thing really going on here on the charts that goes, oh, we're really weak. I mean, where's the weakness? We have a series of higher lows. We've even got higher highs. We're in a bit of a consolidation here. We're going to have to at least break past 57,000, which is the major support that you're looking at right now for strength on the smaller time frames. 57,000 all day. That is the support zone. And if it closes underneath here, yes. Do you go down to 54? I believe so. Back to the 50 exponential on the daily? Very possibly. Whoa, dude, you spam like out of control, man. Sorry, dude, we don't do the spamming. Can one of the mods get rid of him? Thanks very much. Put that guy in the... What is this Safe Moon? Is this like a scam? Is Safe Moon a scam, guys? Because a few people have been posting it around and it just keeps coming up. Safe Moon, Safe Moon, Safe Moon. Danielle Baksheshi, I think it is. Sorry if I butchered your name. ARK bought BTC at 50.8. It can't go under. I wouldn't trust ARK's purchase as it can't go under. I know they've done very good things, but they've also purchased a huge amount of stocks recently that have gone well under their levels. Just remember that. Just remember that. ARK have purchased many things that have come down. BTC, 57 is the major support, but I don't think there is one negative thing coming out of the markets here. Jeremy Smith says, clearly a scam. Darth Meggie says, total scam. I didn't even look into it because anything that's called safe and moon sounds very unsafe and not very moon. Sounds like hell and dodgy. Could be wrong, but it's like coming up with a company that you're trying to maybe go into Asia with, and you call it dragon something, dragon, anything with a dragon, and then they call it's not a good idea. This dragon thing sounds really bad. Sounds like a scam. That safe moon, says Daniel. Yeah, there we go. Darth Dave says, at Tom, I did. They can spam it faster than I can get timed out. That's right. They're pretty fast on the spamming. So BTC looking really good, guys. It's still okay. 57,000. I would like to see support found here throughout the session, though, like it's kind of doing a little bit of now. I'm not even sure if this is updated. It should be. But this is the right zone for it to be buying off and then move towards 60,000. Hopefully it does so. Let's move over to ETH. ETH looks much better on the charts. Of course, this looks a lot stronger. You look at things like the 4 hour, again, finding support here, 2084. It's trading at 2116. Oh, this thing's still not updated properly. Man, TradingView, what is going on? So 2116. Finding support and moving up. Looks pretty good. Maybe targets for Ethereum. I mean, a lot of people are going to have targets for 2.2 and then much higher. I don't know where the ceiling is. I've talked about 2600 quite a few times was my target for the year based on ETH to BTC. So what I'm actually doing is I'm not doing anything to do with where Ethereum is, and I'm looking actually more at this chart. So it was at a 0.045 back in February during that last alt run. Remember, this was an alt run like no other alt run. I believe that this closure above here is the start of the next alt run. This is actually my trigger. What do you guys think about that as a trigger? I'll read this donation coming in here. Sea Bass Master. Well, firstly, I like your name because it sounds like you're maybe a bit of a fisherman. Super chat $5. Appreciate all the work you do, mate. Mind taking a look at INVU. Very efficient BTC mining OTC company. We'll check it out in just a few moments. I like that it's on trend as well, what we're talking about here. So resistance broken through. A lot of headway, at least up to this point here, the 0.04, if not the 0.045. You put it in perspective of where Ethereum versus BTC have been in the past, it's been a lot higher. Look at the 17 run. Look at the 17 run with those spikes that came through near the end. Unbelievable. This would be calling for some unbelievable movements in Ethereum. So this is the way that I do check it out. Yes, ETH will lead the way, says Daniel Harris. That's right. ETH usually leads the way for all other alts, and then all of the rest come through. ADA is another one that we've been discussing on the channel. It had that hype coming through. This is Cardano. Had that hype coming through. Continued. This is where we drew the fence. The fence went down here yesterday, and we said no more. We will not allow you through this level at this stage as a community. The 116.50. The fence was down. I still think this is a very strong zone, but it is time for Cardano to wake up in terms of the alts, because people are not patient and they move around all the time into other money. Right now, there's a lot of money in XRP. Of course, people will move into alts and other things. So it's time to get through this zone. Let's have a look at the daily here, where we're looking at a very significant kind of breakout. Look at the close. The close tells us how key the area that we thought yesterday was, which is right here. Let's get above a 122 so we can actually signify bullish pressure into the 133, into the 147 again, where it's been recently. Check out the 147. 147 is strong. 133 is also a good level, but I think the 147 is the true powerhouse here. And it's once it gets out of this coil, I mean, think of this, it's a little bit of little like consolidation spring, think of it, and it's going to come through quite strongly. We've got 1,100 people here joining us for Tuesday Market Open. I'm pretty hyped. You can tell I'm going crazy, but that's because the coins are waking up. Now, the market, we did talk about it before. It looks to be a red day. The 13.6 level found resistance on the Nasdaq. We'll talk about several times. Go back if you want to scroll back through. At the start, we talked about that. Let's answer Seabass's super chat. Thank you again for the super chat there. I'll just make sure these are actually coming through. Let me just test these. Okay, they work. Perfect. This was for INVU, Invest Inc., supposedly an efficient BTC mining OTC company. Huh. It's moved up very strongly recently, hasn't it? 45%. Came from nowhere last year. Now is all the way 59. It's going to be incredibly hard to technically analyze this because, and you know why, because it's just vertical. Okay, well, at least we've found one statistic, and that is that this 20 exponential is held at twice now. So we've got our 1 and we've got our 2. And when we have our 1 and we have our 2 level, then that allows for further strength in the markets. Okay, further strength in the markets. It's going to be excellent. If it pulls back, finding support possibly on the 20 exponential. So I like the break of the 50. That's a strong resistance breakout. You know, with a lot of these very fledgling kind of companies, they usually go towards round numbers. In underneath the dollar, it's usually 50 cents, 75 cents, and $1. This actually has pretty large market capitalization, so it looks like it's 1.92 billion. I don't know if you could do much fundamental analysis on it, but yeah, the 20 exponential's been hit twice. And now that it's through it, maybe it moves towards the 75. Watch the 20 exponential on the 1 hour for this one. Thank you again for that donation. Got another donation coming in here from Mike H. It's US $4.99. DraftKings, please look to get back in for the long term. We'll check that one out very, very soon. Harry, we've got you in the room as well. Harry, the Tesla bull, he is here. What's he saying? Looks like profit-taking day on the markets. Yeah, a little bit of day trade profit-taking may be coming through. That does sound legitimate. Let's continue with our crypto. Have a look at DOT. So DOT's had a haircut on it recently. Starting to pull back. Makes some sense. I wonder if this is a... I haven't really looked at this. No, that's just too crazy. That's a crazy, crazy line. So DOT's been quite good to us, I think, as a community. This level, all these levels through here were really, really nice. Now that XRP's pumping, possibly some money's coming out of DOT. I wouldn't mind to see it pull back to the 40 would be ideal, or maybe a 38, those kind of zones. Get into a 38, get into a 40, find heaps of support, and then move up to the next level. Because when you look at it here, I don't know why that keeps showing up there. Get rid of all this stuff. When you look at it here and you think about where is the resistance going to be, it's around that 40. So any pullback back down to here, it's going to be met by the 20 exponential, a very well-considered moving average for DOT, and then bang. And then we can move towards the $50 plus. JJ Crypto says, Tom, I've been telling you for a while, I think people are missing the biggest sleeping giant, HBAR. You have to look at HBAR. I'll do it because I believe you may have been posting this one. Hedera. How big is it? The sleeping giant, so I've heard. 2 points. Whoa, fully diluted's huge. That's huge. Better be damn good, because that's a huge fully diluted cap already. 15.6 billion. Maybe that's why it's trading where it is. It's moved through and maybe it's done well. You know, I got this thing with these coins that list like this. So that fully diluted cap is massive. But the other problem I have with it is that if you think about where the fully diluted cap is and where it could get to, let's say it goes to $1, you're still going to be mostly under $1 in terms of percentages. So I'm not sure if I like it that much, but I have heard of it before. I'll look into the coin myself. I'll do some research on it and come back to you on that one. But yeah, I don't like the fully diluted. I'm not a big fan of that. I usually like a lot of scarcity in the coin. The other thing is that it's back on support, so it needs to literally hold the line right now on this one. Needs to hold the line. Let's move through some of the other big coins here. Link starting to do a bit better again. This is Chainlink. The reason why I think Chainlink is interesting is because it's had several key kind of moves where it's consolidated for some time. And then when it's broken out, this doesn't have enough data because there's data back here in July. When it's broken out, it's moved pretty damn aggressively over the next kind of month up. I don't think it's moved for very long time. February into now, it clearly stopped around the time that all the altcoins started, really slowing down and not moving as much. That closure above here for me was a breakout. That was kind of leading to, okay, we're ready to make a move towards the 36, towards the 40, the 44 here for Link. And I think also market capitalization makes some sense. Probably some announcement will come out as well. Announcements are really key in crypto investing because when an announcement comes out, everyone gets hyped and it pushes the coin to the next level. So you want to check that out. But yes, it has broken above the previous resistances. It's in a double bottom pattern here of the pullback, and you take that range, you extrapolate that range out, and instantaneously you'll see that it's pointing towards a $40, which makes a ton of sense from a statistical standpoint, from a price target proofing standpoint, and everything else. Even market capitalization will make a lot of sense at $40 when you look at it on CoinMarketCap. Okay, let's go over to Mike's one. Yes, XRP is above $1, guys. A lot of people getting hyped for that one. I think we're going to need the music pretty early today because that is a phenomenal effort by XRP to get above $1 so soon. And it points to what could happen if this whole SEC thing goes away. It really does point to where that could go. DKNG question was looking to get back into this one. What's going on? Well, the good news is that it has actually already pulled back to the zone that's been very consistent. That is the weekly 20 exponential. Remember, that was met by an instant bullish engulf. So weekly 20 became good. Weekly 20 became good. And last week, we had a very nice pullback in this stock that was then met by aggressive buying. What do I like to happen here? I want to see a little smidgen high. And why I want to see that is it shows momentum is back in the favor of the bulls here on DraftKings. This is a pin bar, hammer, whatever you want to call it. A hammer is the real term, but pin bar is often what people do remember this one as. And when you think about where it is, it just needs to get above that 64.76 zone, get a little bit higher, maybe break through 65. It doesn't need to close. It just needs to show that momentum so that you can move on to the next zone. So even over here, I would have been interested in this one here, put my stop loss underneath and then taken it long. And you can see it went at least the distance of the trade. It's also a very solid level off the 20 exponential. So good luck with this one, Mike. I wish you all the best. And of course, it's a very key zone, I think, in the market, the 20. The 20's just been way too good here on DraftKings. Got a new member coming in here. This member is Polona M. Welcome to the Diamond Hands community. Thank you so much, Polona. Appreciate your support. And remember to integrate your YouTube with the Discord, and then they'll link up together automatically, and you'll start to see the private rooms and everything else there. While we're talking about the Discord, I just did want to mention as well, I've done a quick design competition for anyone that's interested. Here we go. A little bit of designing here for thumbnails and channel backgrounds. If you've got any kind of artistic talent, you're interested in chucking in some ideas to help improve the channel. And I was accused the other day of having the worst thumbnails on the internet, pretty much. So if you have literally got some design talent and you want to bring them out, I quite like this one. Do you guys like this one? Pretty cool. What do you think of that? Not too bad. But if you do have some talent and you're interested in taking us to the next level, feel free to share. I've already got a few people messaging me, and I love to see the creative talent in the community. It's awesome. Thank you again, Polona, for joining the Diamond Hands. This day trader, US $2, potential for IDXX to 600. Ooh, I like IDXX to 600. 600 just sounds like a very cool level. So we've got here the weekly 20 exponential, weekly 20 exponential. It's found it again. Nice little kind of double resistance here. So I'm very interested to look to the smaller time frames. Let's have a look at the monthly. So it's in uncharted territory. It's had an amazing couple of years here, pretty much an amazing decade. This company is Medical Specialities. They're the types of businesses that can often scale very heavily. Let's have a look at the daily. Okay, let's have a look at the 4 hour. Little inverse head and shoulders actually. So we'll go down to the smaller time frame and I'll show you it. All right, so see this, you've got your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder here on the 15-minute. We'll show on the 1 hour as well. When you break through this resistance, it'll be key for it. This resistance is around 495. So getting above 495 is a very important zone. Then it should go this distance. Extrapolate that out. See whether it proofs with another point of resistance or support. In this case, it doesn't really, but you do know that 520 is going to be a little bit of a problem. Look, 600, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch. This is the correct type of bottoming that you want to occur. It's the correct type of lightning bolts that you want to occur on the smaller time frames and the bigger time frames. You've already had the lightning bolt up. You've come back, tested this level of support around the 482. You're moving up strongly here, pre-market 491. Inverse head and shoulders on the smaller time frame. Things are starting to look very good for the 520. 520 is already winning a pretty good one. And then if you go back to the weekly, it makes a lot of sense with these two candles as well. Remember, these two candles, they're basically like indecision candles. So when you break and close above, you've made a decision and you're ready to go on to the next zone or level. So I like it a lot from that perspective. 600 is not out of the question. It's on support, and the support is finding a lot of buyers. Look also to daily, daily volume. You see the volume started going up a little bit here and then it's decreased. When it breaks through, the volume should, if it does break through, the volume should go up higher. As long as the volume is higher than these 2 days here, it's showing that the buyers are also committed on the volume, which means it wasn't a fake breakout, or it's less likely to be a fake breakout. So volume would be cool. Graham Miller says, how come all the altcoins that are pumping are not the ones YouTubers selected? Since when have YouTubers... YouTubers aren't necessarily the best selectors of everything. You've got to do your own due diligence whenever possible. So the alts... A lot of when markets become, it's kind of like this. Think of it this way. In the stock market, what happens? When everyone is looking at something, it usually is not the best investment. What have people been sleeping on? What have people been less discussing in this group? Amazon, Google, Facebook, that type of stuff. There has been very little discussion about those in the community. Now, all of a sudden, what is the most popular thing? Amazon, Google, Facebook. Last year, people, you could not tell someone, hey, I think banks are value in November last year. You couldn't tell someone that. If you told, like we were talking about it here in the community, because a lot of you are seasoned in this and you know that these value plays happen, but everyone was like tech. The problem is that one of the best investments back then was actually financials, deep value stocks and energy. Here's another trend line as well, a little bit on IDXX. It all comes down to that 495. I like the 495 resistance breakout. That'll be cool. Thank you for the donation there. Zach says, PLTR, man. We'll check that out. Kmart says, what is this? What's the worst on the internet? What's the worst thing on the internet? Let me go up here. John Gilliger, Canadian, $5. Tom, could you look at big digital assets? Certainly will, John. Just a few moments here. What's going on with trading view platform prices? Has it gone up? I'm not sure. I might check that out, actually. I haven't looked at platform prices. Remind me tomorrow to explain what's going on that one there. Tom hates it, but LTE go into 250, says Rob Schwartz. Yeah, I could imagine that Litecoin is possible. I still don't like Litecoin. Where is it? 232. What's the percentage here? See, I'm not even excited about the 15% because there were other coins that we were looking at that were better. But yes, you would think this breakout here of Litecoin is going to push it into probably 280 actually. Probably 280 there for Litecoin. I think Litecoin, I don't like it very much. I think it's lost a lot of its use. But if you notice, a lot of the moves right now are actually going into weird old coins. I'll show you one that no one likes. And it was brought up yesterday. Are you ready for this? Which coin do you think I'm about to load? And after that, I'll answer John's super chat. I'm typing in Bitcoin. So which crypto do you think I'm about to bring on the screen, guys? Take a look. Think about it right now. Steph C says, why did Facebook go up yesterday on their data breach news? Because it doesn't matter to the market anymore. We've had a lot of data breach newses and we know what happens. The overall solution is a few people say, oh, I'm deleting Facebook, delete Facebook, hashtag delete Facebook, and they all come crawling back. And yesterday was just incredibly strong for FANG stocks in general. It's happened years ago. Whenever they had data breaches, it smashed the stock around. Now it does a lot less. Sam says Dogecoin. Leon says Dogecoin. You're wrong. You're wrong. A few of you know. Cash. That's right. Bitcoin Cash. Oh my God. Why would this be coming on? Oh, BCH. No. But the technical is there. The technical is there. BCH, the big breakout machine, has gone through the 600 bracket here, and it's aiming for its previous highs. But we know that BCH, when it gets started, sometimes these old coins. I remember what happened back in 17. I was there, and many of you were there. It went all the way to the moon, 3,400 or something ridiculous. Maybe it was 3.8. In only a few days. So it is certainly this one. It's not XRP, Josh, because $100 says XRP. Josh, give me your $100. Donate it right now. Bring it over, Josh. Bring it over. I'm sorry, you can't take that back. You're not allowed to retract that message. $100. We saw it here. Josh N, XRP. Luckily, it was not that one. It was certainly Bitcoin Cash. The reason I'm bringing it up is the resistance break. So resistance. Someone correctly identified this in the community yesterday. They said, Tom, look at Bitcoin Cash. What do you think of the 600? And I said, well, I don't like the Bitcoin Cash, but at the same time, the technical's there. The 600 break leads to further buying momentum. And it makes sense since it's probably the most hated next to XRP on all of the big old coins that have been sitting there. Kmart says, lol, you said you were accused of having the worst thumbnails on the internet. I disagree. Nebraska says, too much excitement in the crypto right now. That's probably true. There is a lot of excitement in the crypto, but we'll get out of there soon. Buy Doji with the clown face. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing the Doji. Let's go back over here to John's question. That was for big digital assets. Where could this go? Just quickly as well, 800 seems like a logical target plus 1,000 because it's just when it moves, it usually moves quite aggressively. It's known to pumpy and then dumpy. So you've got to be very, very careful in a coin like this because see its trajectories and its trajectories in history. It goes woo and then it goes boom. So it's not one that I think a lot of people hodl hard on this. Maybe someone out there hodls Bitcoin Cash and they love it, but there is always potential, and there's a lot more. There's probably more potential than even Litecoin right now in this particular one. big digital OTC BBK CF. By the way, guys, thank you to the 1,302 viewers out there right now. If you haven't hit that like button, get us to 500. I'm ready to play the intro. We're about 1 hour into the stream. We're at 344 likes. We just need a little bit more. Give us the 500 so we can get there, because today is the type of day for the crypto markets anyway that need that hype. BBKCF, this is big digital assets. Daily, pull back to the 20 twice, it looks like. Big breakout here, 18.58%. Look, does it interest me? Probably not, because it looks like it's on a very strong trajectory, but the trend is there. How do we follow a trend like this? Is there a way? Probably the 4-hour 20 is actually the more respectable moving average to follow it through. There was some pullback here, but each one of them was met by buying pressure. Breakout has occurred. Little flag has occurred here, pointing probably to the same type of length again. So you extrapolate that out and you get 243. Where has it stopped before? It stopped at, it's stopping at really weird zones. I mean, 115, why? 145, why? 179, okay, 180. 2 at least did find resistance. Maybe it's coming back to some normality. You would usually think if it goes past $2, it starts to gravitate towards $2.50. So maybe somewhere in the $2.40s, you need to start getting a bit more careful about it. I'd be looking at the 4-hour 20 exponential as one of the technical things to follow it through with. Even when it broke through here, just remember it gapped below. I'll zoom it in. So what happened is it gapped below right here. Then it was met by buying pressure. Then it went down, met by buying pressure. So these two are not really heavy breaks of it. That's a strong buying support candle. Remember, close is the key on these ones. Then we get a close underneath. But the thing about this close is it never made a new low after that day. Now, if the close was here underneath, we're talking a totally different scenario. It's most likely going to sell off. That's very negative. Then we get another day met by support around the $1.50. And then, of course, it gaps up and the rest is history. So it's a very important distinction there. I don't think that moving average, like with all the closures there, I wouldn't have been out. And every other touch of the 4-hour has been met by heavy buying. So good luck on BBKCF. It's not one of my faves. Market capitalization is still quite small, 366 million. Hopefully you can get it to the 240, 250 target and just keep following it by the 4-hour 20. That's probably going to be the main signal that I'd be looking at. John, good luck on that one. I haven't looked at Dogecoin, but I might as well load it up. Mostly because I'm interested to see how it's moving considering XRP. Okay, so XRP, oh, I see, I told you guys, look at this XRP. The pumpy dumpy. The pumpy dumpy, but Doge is not moving at this stage. Usually they move in a bit of unison. I think this one is just more about that SEC thing and people getting hyped into the coin. Eric Kempton, US $4.99. BKB, Berkshire A and B shares, are they in a super cycle? Warren Buffett's company. I just like looking at this one because it's worth so much. Nah, look, we'll do Berkshire B because it's too much, the other one. All right, let's do it. 262.85. Lightning bolt has occurred. This actually performed incredibly well. You think about, this was one of my stronger picks last year. Right around here, this 200 and a little bit lower as well, but this 200 in October was particularly good. So it broke out. It's in a very, very big trend. In fact, you would think Buffett's company is doing quite nicely here. It's mostly just following the S&P though. You've got to remember that. So is it in a super cycle? I would say not really. I think it's doing okay. I think it was undervalued to the S&P at some points, and now it's just returning as value, and he owns a lot of value stocks, have started to perform. So 262, nothing really amazing here. Do I think it's great value? No, not anymore. Do I think that it's following any particular technical? Not really. I'd be just saying it's following a very similar trajectory to the S&P 500, which seems to be what Buffett's been performing almost neck and neck with for the last decade plus. So I like Berkshire when it's hugely undervalued versus it, because I think some of the companies are good. If you're looking at insurance companies and rail and that type of stuff, it can be good. But he also holds some strange stocks that I don't think, unless they move out of them, are going to be great for the next decade. The next decade is going to be about innovation. It is going to be about healthcare, as it always is. So things like medical stuff, and it's going to be about still consumer discretionary. You'll find consumer discretionary mixed with disruptive tech is going to be one of the best sectors, or at least I feel like it's going to be. What do you guys think the next decade, which sector is going to be the best in the stock market? Is it going to be healthcare? Is it going to be utilities? Is it going to be energy? Is it going to be something else? Let me know what you're thinking. Welcome to the 1,330 people as well joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a good time. But I don't think this one is in a super cycle. I just think it's following a little bit of S&P 500. Sherlock Holmes says, come on 500. Are we there? 455, man. We're not just quite yet, but we're getting close. We're getting close. Ben Affleck, US $2, bought April 30 calls of Square, 237 strike. Let's load up Square here. 229 on the close, down 0.41% this morning. So not bad at all, considering it's a hyper stonk. You've got 237 strikes, so sitting right around here. April 30th. So you've given yourself a little bit of time. Yeah, look, it makes some sense. I don't know how much you pay for them, because of course strikes are very dependent on how much you pay. 250-ish or the 260-ish zone is going to be the resistance. I'm thinking it's somewhere around 250 based on the support, based on the resistance, and the long leg doji that was over here. So you've got a good chance now that we've started to see recovery in the NAS. It's a type of good call depending on how much you paid for it. But 252 I would think is the resistance for Square. And if it gets through there, well, it's going to be a pretty good time, because 280 is probably the next target. There's only two main levels, and those are 250, 252-ish, and 280. Once you clear this last little resistance height, I could see it quickly getting back there. I'm not sure whether this stops it, because it didn't stop it last time. So 252 could be the next target. Good luck, Ben Affleck. Taxi says 10 years from now, you'll probably have a semiconductor in your toothbrush or something. They're multiplying like triples. That's it's pretty true. Like every single, look at the semiconductor vector. I mean, this is just, it's just a phenomenal thing. This semiconductor, this is a VanEck semiconductor ETF trust. It closed above. It's instantly repriced here. It's down a little bit today, but barely 0.45%. Many semiconductors are going strong. Even things like, if you looked at Qualcomm, this was one that we got asked about yesterday. QCOM over here, double bottoms, broken above. Nice little daily yesterday, only down 0.09 in today's market. These are strong types of sectors right now. What are the other ones that we got here? Kevin says all the bike stores in Toronto are being sold out. Sporting goods stores are making a killing. Totally agree. The amount of people that are moving out and moving around has been phenomenal. Green energy says Bassmaster. Biotech says Sarah Jane. Arc K all the way says Daniel Radcliffe. Tech and materials says James. I agree with tech. Materials I think will super cycle sometime in the next 12 months. Commodities starting in 2023. Really? I think some kind of like crazy second cycle is going to come through there. It's going to be GME, says Charlie. We'll check that one out soon as well. So Ben Affleck, thank you again. Tom Quimby says, how is it possible that this channel only has 54.9k subs? Don't put my mouth open enough, but if I did, and I tried, I'm sure that would work quite well. It's a lot about, look, YouTube, the reality is it's about algorithmic stuff. You've got to post content. You've got to create certain types of content. You've got to hit certain areas, and then of course create a lot of clickbait. I try to go in the middle zone if I can. Rasmus as a guard glud. Oh, thank you very much. It's an interesting name there, man. DKK $89. Tom, you're a chart magician. Thank you so much. I'm new money and want to buy some AAPL for a very long position. Does the entry point really matter? Not too much. When I plan to hold to infinity and beyond. Look, entry points matter just to a degree. I mean, if you can get in at a better entry, it's best. But think about Apple over time. There's been declines, and you can say, oh, I wish I got this price. But realistically, it doesn't matter a huge amount. I think Apple is not at the most ridiculous price. I mean, we've seen where it's been, 144. If you're going to hold it to infinity and beyond and be like a 20-year hodler or 30-year or 40-year hodler in your portfolio, it makes a difference, but it doesn't make or break your investment. And that's an important difference between investments and trades. Trades, it makes a super difference. If you get the wrong area, you will get obliterated because it's all over. You get stopped out, it's all over. But look at the support found around that 118, 119 for Apple. The support was there. We'll go over to the daily. The support was there yesterday. It broke out of that little declining trend line that we had here. So that's a strong breakout. Pre-market here, it's one of the only stocks actually up in the markets. I mean, we've got the Nasdaq actually has recovered quite nicely. 0.17% down now, so barely down. This is up 0.37%. So looks like Apple is trying to bottom here. Movement could always be towards 145 if you believe in them, and they have things like the Apple Car or some new product or more refinements on their product or their new Apple chip. All of these things could push through to being great growth curves for them. So yeah, this is a decent level from a technical standpoint. Good consolidation, nice breakout occurred yesterday, and hopefully now it starts to reprice itself. So good luck on that one, and thank you again for the donation. Tom, for you, what sectors will be hot for the next 8 months? I still think... I think the materials have still got a bit in them. So a few materials have pulled back. I think that now that we've had the pullback in hypergrowth, I think some of the hypergrowth stocks after earnings, they're going to need the earnings to shoot through. They're going to be pretty good areas. Tech, I still think is going to go well. I think consumer discretionary will continue to do well throughout the year, especially when you've got opening up and you've got the two-factor kind of idea of exactly what was mentioned before. Everyone's going out and buying, let's say, sports goods and all of those types of things. Those types of areas will continue to do well. People will start to spend in tourism. I've mentioned about Airbnb. It's not a specific sector play at the moment other than my long holds. It's really specific companies in certain areas that benefit from reopens. And I talked about Square yesterday. I think a lot of little entrepreneurs are going to start up businesses as well. Kevin says tech will continue to lead. Yes, I think so. Peter van der Kloot, $5 from Holland. So I'm half Dutch, so there you go. Welcome. Please, ADA Cardano review and price prediction. Education thoughts. That's what we're going to do now. Peter, thank you very much for your donation there. Let's see if I missed anybody. I did not. No worries. Tesla. Do Tesla, Tom. ADA and ETH. Well, don't worry. We're going to do ADA now. Algo, Tom, says Conscious. All right. Donkin Dave says, why not buy leaps long-term on Apple? You can. I'm not really too familiar with using leaps, so I won't comment on it too much. Look, you can do a lot of different things to buy stocks, and you can buy 3x funds for stocks. You can buy indices and just say, okay, I don't want to take so much risk maybe in any particular stock. I'll buy 3x or 5 times indices or something like that. These are all valid strategies, just different ways of achieving a similar goal. Okay, let's check out ADA. Let's load it up. Probably you have just come in here, Peter, because with ADA, look, there's nothing really problematic about the price action other than I want to see a breakout. So I'll explain it to you again, and the rest of the community here for what I'm thinking. 116.50, we've had that level, the 1.1650. We've had this level for quite a few days. We've been watching some very boring price action here in ADA for quite a few days as well. When it gets through the 121, so this area up here, when it gets through this area up here and closed above, that will trigger further buying, okay? And that's the key. It's not all about these wicks. I don't care about these wicks. I care about the close, where the battle of the bulls and the bears ends. When you get a closure above this area, then we can move towards the next zone. And the next zone is going to be 133, I believe. And then the second area, 147. 147 is the real target most people have on ADA because that's where it was recently. This is a coil or a spring. So think of it as if it does break up, what's going to happen? Explosive price movement. And what happens then? Hype train comes in. All of the retail crowd suddenly becomes interested in it. You have YouTubers, you have other people out there saying, hey, it's worth $5, it's worth $10, it's worth whatever. It doesn't really matter about that. That's all noise. But what you do want is that hype train to come back through, and they're the kind of zones or areas. I've got it trapped between the closure points, the closure below and the closure above. I'm looking for a daily above the 122. Good luck. And thank you for the donation. Karamaga says Tesla to $800. XRP back to 66.6, says Rob Schwartz. Tesla to 420. Whoa. Can you look up coin B Pro? It used to be Bit Protocol. B Pro. This is from Dr. Drew Humpy. B Pro. It's on support, man. B Pro. 8.93%. Yes. Closure points up here. No breakouts. 4 hour. That's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's on support. I'm not sure about the actual coin itself, but it's the right area for it to go to. The 4 hour or whatever time frame I was on before, I think it was the daily, I noticed there that you had a little rejection wick yesterday. So I'd like to have a closure above here, and that will probably signify more buying pressure is there. And you can start to move up to the 0.0287. So it's on support, no doubt. Watch today's close and move from there. Nick Cavathas, US $5. Please look at ASO. It's an outdoor retailer that sells guns and ammo. Are you allowed to even mention that word probably on YouTube? Probably bans me. Texas just smashed earnings. It makes perfect sense for it to do so. And I think we've looked at this a few times on the market. Yeah, this has been the breakout one. So look, this was a strong play, and actually it was a very strong play through the November area. So I think when we found out about that vaccine, this is what I'm saying, think ahead of the curve. From about the vaccine news being rolled out, like all the, semi whatever you want to think about, but the way it was working, it was actually looking like it was going to be success. That's going to lead to a huge amount of demand. The breakout has occurred. I expect this to be a sugar rush, and the reason it's going to be a sugar rush that will sustain for probably 1 to 2 quarters. So it'll probably sustain to the end of the year, because how many of you out there, and I know I'm like this, I love trading, I love sitting on the computer and doing this type of stuff, but I also really value doing some outdoor things more than I used to, because I know what being locked up is like. We got locked up here in Melbourne, Australia, very hard, very hard. So because we got locked up and basically put in partial prison, the way it works was now you really value those things and you want to spend money on them and enjoy life. So I think there's going to be a sugar rush here, but mark my words, it is most likely a sugar rush. And the reason why you can think about that is think of Costco, okay? So Costco smashed earnings as well. It smashed earnings as well. So we had that massive movement up through, look, all the way through July, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and then all of a sudden it wasn't as good as it was, yeah? Just suddenly wasn't as good and the sector rotated out. This is because what happens is it's a sugar rush. Everyone over here is buying toilet paper. They're going out and buying everything, hoarding. Then they have too much stuff, but the market still thinks that they're buying like that growth. The market's not efficient here. This is not an efficiency of the market. It's just thinking everyone's going to buy. It's not true. It's going to stop. It's a sugar rush. So for ASO, my thoughts are it's a sugar rush. It may continue for another quarter, possibly into Christmas, like consumer discretionary. It looks good. It makes tons of sense. Also, depending on, it's also probably a rush in there because of the Democrats getting in control, being the gun stuff. So yeah, I think that it could have further movements in it. This is a strong breakout, but it's not any strong technical here. If it pulls back after this and it comes down and reaches back in here, because it's already hit what I thought target was based on this consolidation area breaking out, then yeah, there could be a reload zone here. How have you followed it in the past? It's been the 20 exponential moving average has been pretty solid. 20 exponential moving average, relatively good. So you can follow it that way and the earnings make sense, but again, sugar rush more than long-term trend. CME US $5. 1 second. I think they're behind. But I'll say CME $5.79 US. Thank you so much, CME, for the donation. It's no message, but I do appreciate it very much. And yeah, that's all I can say, really. Thank you so much for it. Dimitri Jackson, US $5. GME call strike 170, 23rd of April expiry. Tesla strike 710, 30th of April. Thanks for all you do. Okay, let's have a look at Tesla first and appease all of the Tesla fanboys out there and fangirls. 693 in the pre-market. It's good. It's good. It's 0.39% up. The Nasdaq now is only down 0.12, so much stronger. It's testing that 13.6 resistance into the open today, it looks like. 693. You got 710 strikes. 30th of April. Okay. Look, you know what I'm about to say. You know I want a closure above 700. We didn't quite get it yesterday, but that's okay. And you know I also want a closure above 720, and then you're looking quite good with your calls, because your calls could be worth a decent amount if it gets to the eventual zone. So my thoughts are, let's close above 700, then we got to close above 720. Once we get through 720, I don't think there's much left-hand noise there. The structure looks there's just nothing going on, nothing here, nothing on the way down. So there should be a very good participation phase in here. And that participation phase should lead to, well, hopefully good profits for you if you hold it through that time. So let's get above 700 and 720 for now. These are the zones that I'll be looking at over the next couple of days. Once you get through here, though, I do feel from a technical standpoint, the left-hand side is quite weak, and the rocket ship could be up to the 800. I do feel a ton of take profit targeting, though, at 800. Sometimes markets will overextend, similar to XRP extending to $1.10 today, but they usually come back to an equilibrium, and that's why it's sitting at 96 cents right now. So it's pulled back after that crazy hype train. Watch for 700 today, Dimitri. Thank you for the donation there. GME as well. All right, let's do the GME AMC situation. Where is it? I had it loaded up. I probably got rid of it. Let's load up GME here. Nothing changes from our key levels yesterday, but the success of holding above 173 has not gone unnoticed. This is very good for GME to hold such strong sentiment through what is a very negative day. That was a horrible day for you yesterday, and you've overcome what was a pretty bad session. So 188.77. If we get above 200, you know what I think. 200, you're looking for a 4-hour close or above. Let's go down to the 4-hour. 4-hour close or above. There's never been a 4-hour close above 200 for some time. That will then push to 225. And then I would thinking that you can start to think about much higher zones after 225. After 225, you're starting to think about 280, 295, kind of crazy levels on GME again. So it's very important it continues to hold within the 173, 200 range. A breakout above exposes 225 and then exposes even higher levels. A breakout below, unfortunately, back to the 120 pain train. That's how important this zone is. It must hold under all circumstances. Otherwise, 120 pain train, and after that, you've got the $87 for the next level of support. Thank you so much to the 1,509 viewers coming in here for Market Open. We are 1 hour, 14 minutes away from the Market Open. We've just done Tesla. We've done some Nasdaq earlier on if you want to check it out. We've got some great levels there. We're going to open up, it looks like, on the resistance. We've done Bitcoin, we've done Ethereum, we've done ADA. What haven't we done? Well, there's a few other things I want to show you today, but we've covered plenty already. And I believe I know what time it is. How many likes are we at? Let me refresh this. Oh, easy, guys. 582. Remember to like the stream if you want to support just in the littlest bit possible. It does help us out. And it's time for our intro. So let's get it ready and let's get hyped for the day because it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got intro version 5. Thanks to the community for the extra memes coming through. Let's get ready, guys. Chuck up the apes, chuck up the rockets, chuck up whatever you want for today. Let's do it. Whoa, got to bring it on first. Woo. Oh yeah, let's do it. Cheers, guys. And of course the risk warning. Hopefully. There we go. Alrighty. We'll move on back over. I've got CME coming in with another $1.35 donation. There's still no message there, but oh, here underneath. Got to include it if you can. But CME, Tom, heard earlier Google and Amazon bought shares on close last week. If I exit today, where does TA indicate exit? You owe me a Java now. I think that's because you missed I missed your other comment before. But that's all right. Let's have a look here at Amazon. I'm not sure if Amazon is Amazon's looking good, man. I don't know. Why are you wanting to get rid of the Amazons? You've got to do what you've got to do. But from a technical standpoint, Amazon broke out yesterday. Google already broke out days before that. But Amazon broke out. It moved to the 32.21. And I see resistance next being somewhere around this 33, kind of 34 zone. And it's a little while away still. So that's the type of level that you're thinking for Amazon now. Even if you take this consolidation and you say, okay, I'm just going to take that distance and you extrapolate that out, it proofs. And proofing is very key in the markets. So 31.75 was closed above. We're now not even a third of the way through this move. I think Amazon possibly has more in it, but I see that if I exit today, where does the TA indicate the exit? Well, it's going to be higher from Amazon's perspective. Now, Google is a totally different beast. Google ran incredibly heavily yesterday. It's actually flat as a tack today, 2,219. So the problem with Google is if you're thinking from a TA perspective, all you can really do is say it was in a channel, we'll be as nice as possible and we'll take it to the top, and you extrapolate that out and it only gives you a 2,245.50 reading. So there's a little bit more in it, but not that much. So Google's explosive move has pushed it into this type of area. If I was setting, let's say, spreads, like option spreads, I would be in kind of here, about 3/4 of the way through to where my target was. I probably would have exited those spreads already. But yeah, this is the zone that you would think is the next level from just the technical standpoint. Huge spring consolidation followed by aggressive breakout, 2,245 from a TA. And I'll drink the Java on you tomorrow. It'll be good. It'll be good. I need the Java. Steph C. Oh, wait, 1 second. SAC Honda highlights, $4.99. Bull run April. Can you check out my Shooting Star HD? Home Depot. Shooting Star. You mean Unstoppable Machine? I assume you're saying Shooting Star because it's literally shooting up. Look, yeah, this is very strong, Home Depot. Many great recovery weeks here. So strange, actually. How very interesting. So Australia actually bucked the trend way more than America did on this one. Let me have a look at Wes for a second. So this is our effectively Home Depot stock in Australia. So it continued its run all the way through with huge, because I guess we didn't really shut down as much across all of Australia. But it's really interesting to see Home Depot consolidate for that long. Look, I think it's again going to be a sugar burst type of thing. I think that Home Depot will do really well. There's a huge amount of renovation, no doubt, going on. A lot of people are improving their homes, doing whatever they can to, again, pandemic related. It is a recovery play and probably going to be sugar rushed. So the question then becomes, how do we find out when the run is over? Well, this is running a very aggressive moving average. So it's probably going to be an hour. Look at that hour. Wow. That is phenomenal 1 hour trend. This will calm down, just like Costco did. Doesn't mean it's over for long term, but this 1 hour 20 is just phenomenal here. Every time, guys. Look at it go. Where are we? 315. Where did it stop last time? 284, 290, 292. So it stopped just before the 300, and then over here it stopped just after, and then over here it stopped just before 250. So I'm thinking something like a 340 seems to be a probability, just because it stopped before a couple of times before the key number. We know 350, 400, 200, 300, all those levels usually find resistance. The reason why it found nothing at 300 is because it was already at 291. So remember my theory and my usual concept. If something consolidates just before a key resistance, when it does go through, it's going to blast through it and continue going. And if you're the one selling at 300, Wall Street say lol, and they steal your money, guys. That's what they do. They thieve it from you, and it happens time and time again. If a market stops before, then has the pullback, just like the S&P 500 recently, and we correctly predicted as in the community, the 4,000, it did not care. Did it care? It was like, woohoo, straight through, because it stopped before and coiled. Remember, if you get anything out of today's session, get that. Coiling underneath the key psychological level, then break. Then as it gets that level, it's going to take out all the stop losses. It's going to take out all the noobs. And you've got to be the person with the big brain sitting there going, I know what's happening. This is following the 1 hour 20. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. It has been a phenomenal trend. Hopefully it continues for you. Remember how you spot the end of the trend? Hyper aggression away from the moving average there. Theodore Charles says, I see Nasdaq going to 13,700 today. Hope you're right. I mean, I'm still in it. It's all good. Nasdaq's good. Nasdaq is good. Another donation coming in here from Steph C. Super chat $2. Can you please look at PSFE? Was a SPAC. PSFE. PaySafe. Go to the weekly, get an idea of what's going on here. So it was a SPAC, so it came in at 10. Had that hype in it. The hype's died off. I feel like all SPACs are suffering at the moment in the markets. There's very little SPACs that are doing well. It was like this hype and anticipation came into SPACs, and now it's back to very little hype, very little anticipation, not a lot of fun. Support really has to be found around this 14. So we've looked at this one a few times. I don't want this under 14. No under 14. It had one day where it closed underneath and it was met by instant buying pressure. Buying pressure here, buying pressure. Do not allow this thing under 14. Unfortunately, it looks terrible on the charts. Even like this trend line down of lower highs. I wouldn't be interested in it until it breaks through. Until it breaks through. Well, yeah, I don't know about this SPAC. Or whatever it is, PaySafe has to find support today. And if it does, then you want it to get above these series of lower highs, and that will be the sequence of events. Just like Apple looks like it's suddenly much better than it did yesterday. Apple was kind of now it looks a lot better on the charts. Verified News, Dave, super chat of $5, got 9th of April calls, 102 TNA Russell triple leveraged fund. Woo. Bought mid-range average yesterday, dollar backing off bonds, rallying, deciding to bail / not bail. You've got to make that decision yourself. You know that, Dave. But we will have a look at it for you. This is TNA. It is the triple Russell. Look, nothing really has changed from yesterday. We have the correct setup for a lightning bolt. We are moving towards the correct type of thing. So you basically got here your trough coming off the similar low. You've got your peak, you've got your higher trough, you've got your higher peak break, and then you potentially now can move through. Now, you haven't bought very long dates, so 9th of April is not very long away, which puts you under massive time constraints to obviously get to the levels. You've got that $100 here as probably your target, considering you don't have much time. That would be the target. Based on today's price action so far, I mean, you've got a 0.08% market down. So IWM, which is the Russell, in the futures market's only down 0.24%. You bought somewhere, it sounds like pretty much where it is right now. If the market continues its strength up today, it's a coin flip because of your time. If you had more time, you would have to think that things are looking good. But because you have so little time, I mean, you only have till Friday. That's terrifying. That's the problem with options. It's kind of like YOLO. You're a bit YOLO on that one. Do I hate it? No. But I think it's really coin flippy. You would have to err on the side of it's going up from a technical standpoint. There's nothing telling you that the Russell can't get to 228 or even the 230 bracket even by Friday. But you just don't have that much time. Because with options, it's all or nothing. That's what kind of makes it tough. Maybe watch the session, but you've got to make your own decision on that one, Dave. You know I can't do it for you, unfortunately. The technicals stand as this is a lightning bolt break, but this could be actually quite possible. Pull up like that. A little bit of a pull down, bit of consolidation, and movement up. Because you don't have the time to wear that through, that's your big problem with it. Verified News, Dave, super chatted again. Have to use US small cap 2000 futures for TNA after hours. Yeah, so we've moved over anyway to the IWM. It's the same exact chart. So really all you're looking for here is movements up. And right now it's only down 0.13%. So watch the session, try to figure out what's going on, but things are looking okay right now. BTC bounce. BTC, yes, it's bounced off our double bottom. Nice. Good movement here. 3 hours till that close. Have a look at the 2 hour. Things are looking nice. 60,000 is the target for that double bottom. Resistance may be met there, but look, this is a beautiful technical if it plays out. As we've said, double bottom here, resistance, support, movement up to the 60, all things look good. All it has to do is look like it might get there. I'll make a killing, says Dave. I know, lol. I only have today and tomorrow. Yeah, you're YOLO there, Dave. Full YOLO mode engaged. You probably even more crazy than me in the market, eh? I like that, but it's tough. Let's take a look at some gold. Tom says Bloodbath McGrath. Gold broke moving average. All right, let's check out gold. Daily. I don't know why these things keep loading these stupid lines. They're not even from this chart, but anyway. Look, gold position really hasn't changed. I'll just go to the weekly and show you though. See, no follow through yet. Let's get a new high formed. I want to see that weekly high from last week taken out. That's around the 1740. I want to see a little takeout there on a daily, and I'm a believer of gold moving towards the 1760. Once it gets through 1760, you know that at that point you're a fully fledged double bottom, and then you start to move 1800, you start to move 1850. 1850 is probably the really tough point, more than 1800, but at 1800 you're contending with all these moving averages. So I think 1850 is the true level of big problems for gold, but double bottom could be in play very, very soon. Just continue seeing a little bit higher here. I want it through 1739, just a movement, maybe a daily close, ideally, even though this is a weekly chart, to show us the bullish strength is there from what is a miraculous pullback last week. That's a very, very nice hammer pin bar. Stephen Alexander says the RSI is really high on some tech stocks from the recent rebound. Should that even keep you from buying? Look, RSI is, you can stay overbought for ages. So the problem with, the reason I don't bring them up is, let's say we look at a stock. What's going kind of nice right now? Let's just look at Google for a second here. So you load up Google, you go here, you load up RSI, and you say, you know, oh, it's really high, Tom. Look how high it's been. So high. The problem is though, it's often this high, and think of this, you line up this point, it's high here. Did it pull back a little bit? Sure, but then it went on a monster streak the whole way through. This is probably not the best example because there's way more hyper stocks here. This is a weekly RSI. What you'll find is if you go through and you try to trade off an RSI being high, it can stay, this is a big move, 1366 up to 1534, it can crush you from trying to sell on it. So there's not been that many times that the RSI has gone outside of, you know, really high up here and not ended up failing. So it's like a precursor. Yes, there are problems, but what I'll be doing is, if let's say the RSI goes back up here, 77 on Google. If it goes to 77, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my line there on this, and then I'm going to try to match this up with the SPX trend line, okay? And if you can match an SPX trend line resistance or a key psychological on the NAS or anything like that with an overbought RSI, you can put together a story. But using this by itself, nah, not good enough. The RSI is crappy by itself. If it worked well, big boffins would be using it and creating algorithms. It's not good enough by itself. It needs to be brought together with many things, and we have it in our course. Hey, look, we've got it in our technical analysis masterclass. We like RSI. There are legitimate strategies behind it, but I do not use it as the only tool. It is something that I look at and I go, yes, I understand it's high, but it's not going to stop me. Look how high it's been for quite some time. High over here, high over here, high over here. And if you weren't in it, you missed out on a lot of dollars. So I don't use it for that. I sometimes time it for specific shorting style strategies. Thanks so much to the 1,562 viewers here. We are just under 1 hour away from Stock Market Open. We've been going for about an hour and a half so far. We've covered plenty of things. That's my thoughts on RSI at this point. Link supposedly moving out. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Finally. Damn it. I tell you, The technicals are good. At the start of the stream, we mentioned this one. Here was our closure point, and we're moving good now. And Link has been sitting for quite some time. I wonder if the freaky, crazy alts have been moving. Actually, I'm not even trusting TradingView. So this might, because this one may follow Link. That is a super speculative, weird thing though. So Link here, 34.50 on the move, up 6.48%. Technical target somewhere around $40 on this one. Strong price action, strong consolidation for a long time. It's been forgotten. It's been a horrid forgotten coin, but maybe now it's coming through with the goods. Cool. Sherlock Holmes, I love that name, has super chatted $5. Been enjoying your channel for the past month. Thank you so much, Sherlock. Definitely helped me with my TA. That's good. The intro is a bonus. Thanks, Tom and community. Give a big clap to Sherlock Holmes in the community, please. I would like clapping. I'll clap to you, man. Where's my little clap here? How do I get clap? Damn, it's laggy. It's so laggy. I need to put that 5800 in this computer. All right, I'll give you a little Harambe. Wait, where's my Harambe? There we go. Thank you so much, Sherlock, and thank you to the chat, the community. You guys have been doing it. I heard the other day someone mentioned me. They actually bought the course, and they said to us, they said, "Oh, I saw you on Stock Twits." I don't know who shared us there, but cool. Thank you so much. Hopefully that means you guys like it. There's the claps coming through. And a whine from Sam. All the money bags. We should use the money bags or Big Brain or something. What are your thoughts on Neo? Yeah, let's check out Neo. Link looking good. I'm telling you, it's altcoin season. It's altcoin bonanza. And then it will be altcoin bust. And the altcoin bust is brutal. You don't want to be in it during that point. Thoughts on Neo? Yesterday, a little bit weak, hey? This is really kind of a sad one. It's going to need earnings. It's going to need earnings. So look, it'll get dragged by Tesla if Tesla keeps going strong. But the big problem with Neo is this, and that is that when you think about what's going to happen next on Neo, it's had that shutdown. So we know it got shut down for a few days. Hey, that's a blip on the horizon. But now that confidence has been kicked out of Neo, it needs earnings. And a lot of these hyper stocks also need earnings to really pull them through. Like say Teladoc. The problem with that one is that people don't have faith that they all think it's, everyone on Wall Street, I'm telling you, these guys all think it is a pandemic only play. I tend to differentiate between the pandemic play and not pandemic play, but I think that's a big part of Neo right now. It needs an earnings report. It needs to prove that it's done better than expected, better than consensus. 46 still the resistance target, and of course you've got your heavy support buying process here around 34. It's in the middle of nowhere land, and therefore we cannot really say whether it's good or bad at this level. I would like for it to have held above 40, and I'm very disappointed that yesterday it didn't. It's kind of like Tesla not holding above 700. So Neo, get it above 40, please. And then once you do that, you move toward 46, 50, 55. And 55 will be met by a ton of selling. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of sellers there. Check out link to the BTC. Russell up a bit more, Dave. Oh, Dave, you're getting feisty there with your options. I can see that Dave, because he's got these options, I'm sure a few people, if you ever get into options and you have short dates, there's nothing quite like having an option expiring the same week that you've got it. And the amount of glued to your screen action that you can do, because everything is on the line to the option expiry. So just remember, that can be something that does happen here. We've read Sherlock Holmes's donation, so that is awesome as well. Gold, double bottom, that's what we were looking at. Let's have a look at DXY. We haven't even done our dollar index. We were in here yesterday. We were sitting in the 2-hour chart. Strange action that went on during the Asian session. So we're right here yesterday, and we said, oh, it looks pretty weak. ended up being quite weak. It's the exact kind of situation again today, right at the support, and all of this price action is pointing towards more weakness in the dollar. And we know that if more weakness in the dollar occurs, what does that generally mean for the stock market, chat? What does that then generally mean? If the weakness in the dollar occurs, what does the stock market do? Sherlock Holmes wants me to look at theta. I'll have a check out of that very, very soon. Hey, Tom, what do you think of MSTR, please? MSTR. Might check that out. Another 10% for Mara, says Gaj Brown. Mara is pretty much linked to Bitcoin at this point. Rises, says Social. That's right. Red? No, green. Green. If the dollar goes down, it's usually green. Risk on is the thought process. So the 50 exponential, 50 EMA was hit on the weekly. Then you've got a closure below this point and a movement down to 92 could be in order. Now, movement down to 92, this is going to be where I think the dollar will find buying pressure, but it's right very, very close. I mean, this 2 hour hasn't closed yet underneath, but imagine if it does. Weakness in the dollar leads to usually some strength in the markets. And those two big rejections, whether they're fake data, I don't know, but there's some big rejections there and weakness is coming. Theta is a killer. So Theta is a cryptocurrency. Let's have a look at Theta. Theta went nuts a little bit earlier in last week, I think it was. Then it's consolidating. This is really what happens with these types of coins. So it had a massive surge. It got up pretty hard. If you go to here to Coin Market Cap, we think about where Theta is now. Bitcoin Cash. Theta is close to Bitcoin Cash at 11.755 million. The main reason I was even thinking about Chainlink is you had the technical, and at the same time as you had the technical, you've also got a relatively small market cap compared to some of the competitors that's been around. And we know that's very, very important. So Theta, yeah, look, I think it had a big rise to fame. I feel like it's got some more cooling off to do. Let's go back to the chart. Has it found its support? Pretty much. Multiple supports around this 1120. So you know 1120 is where it's going to try holding. And what you've got to be careful of now is that it doesn't actually continue weakness. So I don't want to see no further weakness. Ideally, it breaks above this kind of descending trend line here. And it's not a perfect trend line because it's not through all the highs, etc. But yeah, you get the idea. Support must be found. And if support isn't found and it moves above 12, that is going to be a big problem on this market. So I think 12 must be met. Anything under here is going to send big shorts, big aggressive shorts through Theta. So Theta, $12 plus, good. Underneath 1120, bad, very bad. You do not want closures under there. Did you do Nasdaq already, says Mufang? Absolutely we have, but we will do it again coming in. GY Tissa says Cardano, guys. Yeah, Cardano. Ooh, I see. Cardano above 122 at the 123. Good news for Cardano holders. Yes, that is a strong move here on Cardano. At this stage, it needs to hold something significant. What is the only time frame it has not held? So daily, I really want daily, but it's going to be super aggressive if it does break through. 4 hour, no close above. I would prefer daily. But this is a strong move here coming through ADA. Sack Honda Highlight says 1,500 viewers. Hit that like button. Get the hype going. What have we got going on here? Big Man, super chat at $5. Do you think Soxal is overbought? I'm holding a lot. In capitals, a lot. That terrifies me when you say that. Soxal. Do I think that it's overbought? Semiconductor bull 3x. So you've done well from the perspective of you've analyzed the correct market and then you've gone semiconductors looks good. I don't think it's overbought. I think that it's come back to the resistance here. This is obviously a very aggressive way of buying semiconductors, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. See, when the crashes happen, what can oh my god. 2156 down to 363. Wow. That's probably a mismanaged. That almost blew up. Almost blew up twice. And it's been split a few times, probably because of that as well. Yes, look, it's looking strong. There's nothing really saying the semiconductors can't. They're all at, if you actually look at the real semiconductor index, it's basically at resistance, straight at it. This one will never be at the same resistance because it'll degrade due to leverage cost and also due to scaling in and out of the ETF. So usually the ETF has like a tolerance and it will have to scale in and out. And when something drops, it never comes back with the same amount of force again. So look, I like the resistance being broken actually moving forward. I don't think that it's gone too hyperactive, but look, you're in a 3x fund, so you've got to make your own decisions there. There is always a chance of a pullback back to this previous resistance, and that being where it moves up. I mean, that's kind of what you don't want to happen. But at this stage, look, it's still looking pretty strong. Pullback could occur though to the 40-ish on Soxal. Good luck there, big man. I understand you have a lot of it, but I don't think there is an overbought signal here. I just think that it's at resistance on the main index. Bradley back coming in with the $2 super chat. Bought Link after our Friday session. Stonks. Don't tell me Bradley back. I appreciate your $2, but I don't want to know. I'm glad that you're potentially making a couple of dollars or something, but yeah, always be a little bit, don't tell me about it. I don't want to know about it. Remember, you made that decision and you like Link. So hopefully you have done it, and good work there, Bradley. Unable to code, super chatted $5. Hi, love your channel, new to TA. Could you please check out CHZ Crypto? Got quite a lot of crypto people coming in today, which is cool. I think crypto is an interesting area at the moment. Basically, with the stock market, it's all like semiconductor, Nasdaq, and a few recovery plays, which is cool. But the reason I like this channel so much and where I want to take it to and why I want you guys to share it with your friends in the stock market, in the crypto markets, is I like being a bit variety with the TA. I actually quite like quite a few different markets, and I think it's good to understand other markets. Do you guys like that? Do you like a few different markets to cover? I mean, if commodities are on, we cover commodities. I like it all. But I hate being bored. And if you're bored, sometimes you'll look at a stock market and you'll think, oh man, it's moving 0.1%. And it will happen. And you'll be like, that's so boring. Like, let's have a look at something else. And luckily, we can do that here on the channel the way I'm setting it up for you guys. Horizontal support here for CHZ US dollar tether. Is this even support? I do not like the sequences that we're seeing. It kind of looks really negative. Chill is. You would think on a day like today, it would be actually holding its own with pretty strong moves across crypto. 0.44. So from a TA perspective, here's your problem. You hit this resistance 3 times, the 0.55. You're on a clear downward sloping point of a series of lower lows. And yes, you've hit like a level of support, but your main problem is that it's just not looking that great for quite some time. You've just constantly get a series of lower highs coming through. And in fact, all of these are really lower highs with one spike. So it's the sequence down. I don't like it that much from that perspective. Is there a great level of support that's been found yet? No. I'm assuming you're probably in this. If you're not, it hasn't found base, in my opinion. I just don't see it finding base yet. And it must hold this level at all costs. Otherwise, there's quite a lot of fill down to 0.35. So good luck on it. I would like to see it hold this level And whenever you see these types of sequence of charts, it's not the best because of the series. Remember, the lower highs, they're just not the best areas to be in there. What is going on here? Thank you again, and I'm glad you found the channel and you're enjoying it. Jason Kilhoffer, super chat at $5. Tom, can you do SXP swipe, aka Sexy P? 40% in the last week. It is still going or pull back. Sexy P. Is this Sexy P? Why don't I know about Sexy P? SXP. Swipe. Yeah. Crypto. I just love the name. That's awesome. All right. So it's done pretty okay with you. Nice. How big is it? It's probably a lot bigger than I think. Okay. It's not that huge. 411 billion market cap, 410. Fully diluted market cap, 1.35 bill. So it's not insanely big. It's had that run in August. Probably a good pick for you to be in actually again after that big run. And then when it came back down and really crashed through, found recovery back in January. Yeah, nice. Let's have a look at whether SXP has gone too far. I love the coil coming into it. This one has the exact thing you want to see, a series of higher lows coming through to a resistance and a very strong undercoil straight under 4. So when that happened and you got this coil under 4, that leads to a very nice aggressive breakout. You've seen that, and obviously you've seen the strength of what's going on here. You said it's gone up about 50%. Yep, it certainly has from a percentage perspective. $4 could be like a pullback zone. It's at 467. Long leg doji on the, I think it's all over the place here, but I would expect $4 to be met by buyer demand. And it hasn't even been able to get down there. Like even when it broke through, see how it stopped at about 410? So it stopped about 410. Now it's hit the 20 and bounced off. I think that this zone here should be buying pressure for it. I don't know if I'd be that scared if I'm at 460 and $4 or $4.10 should be technical support. That doesn't really terrify me too much in a crypto. It's been resistance. It's thought about this level several times in March, in Feb during the last altcoin kind of run. And then even here, look over here. During that big pull up, it did dump last time very heavily, and I'd ask the question, why did it dump this hard? I mean, that's a massive aggressive dump compared to other coins. But yeah, $4 should be met by buying pressure at this point. ADA just went to 127. Oh, I see it, guys. I see it. ADA moving very, very strongly here. 127. There it is, 133, 147 remains the other two levels. So it is crypto morning here. XRP back above buck, but barely. Thank you so much for the donation there, Jason. That's my thoughts. $4 probably support at this point. Sir Pitcher, nice name, has super chatted $8. Your thoughts on BNGO? Let's check out BNGO, and then we'll go over to the Nasdaq because we are only 36 minutes away from stock market open here today. It's going to be pretty good. So BNGO, this is a health technology biotech space stock. It's a biotech space biotechnology stock. Double bottom on the very small time frames here. Wonder if this particular stock, I haven't actually looked at the fundos on it, but look, you've got your trend line there. You've got your bottom resistance peak, the retest knowing that's technical. I would actually just want a slight high above here. You know, 850 is a little bit of support. So if we can get through this series of lower peaks, there's the lower peaks. It looks very, very nice indeed. Strong looking stock. I know there's a huge amount of hype interest in this one. We get asked about it quite a lot due to where it ran. I'm not a huge fan of the stock myself because of where it came from, which terrifies me every time I look at that type of thing. But guess what? If it gets through the 850-ish zone, it's broken through the series of lower peaks. It then can move towards 950. And 950, it's still a good percentage. I mean, percentage-wise, you're looking at 15-ish%. And then, of course, maybe even more in it as the hype grows. This stock here, we used to get asked about it all the time. At least it looks like it's formed a basing pattern, being the double bottom. And that literal trend line here is what I'm looking at. MSTR, we'll do that very, very quickly. MicroStrategy. This one here is for Akmal. Akmal 7. Oh, what's that? Resistance 721 pre, now 725. Yes. I could see it going to 800 in this run. I mean, 800 is very clear resistance. It's gotten through this support. I think it's doing the right type of sequences. Go into 1 hour. New peak formed yesterday. Yeah, look, 800 seems like the likelihood. You probably just get those little aggressive move up, down, up, down, up, down. Maybe go in the smaller time frames, find a moving average that's following, and then check that one out. So Pitcher, I appreciate your donation there. I think that's probably the most likely occurrence. Let's have a look at the weekly. Weekly coming off the weekly 20. Yeah, not much else to say. Spyburn 007 super chat $2.99. There was no message on that one, but thank you so much for the donation. Oh, it looks like there was one. ARV on the ASX, please. Thank you, Dave, for getting that one for me because I didn't see it. Let's do ARV on the ASX, then go over to the Nasdaq because we are only 33 minutes away from open. It is not long now till we see what happens. Weekly looks really good on consolidation. Double bottom almost in play here. Clear target as well, being this level. It's a penny stock worth how much? Market cap $92 million. Little closure above here should signal back into this 11, and that's still a very high percentage, as you would know. We're looking at 27-ish% because it's a penny stock. So yes, it's forming a base. I could see that base straight away. I feel like going towards the 0.11 seems pretty likely. Go to the weekly. Looks like it pumpy dumpies a bit as well. Sleeper hit. What's it in? Precious metals. Yeah. So as the cycle comes back through for precious metals and metals in general, it should do a little bit better. Look for the breakout there on that one. Good luck. Thank you for the donation. All right, let's go over to the Nasdaq. 13,597, down 0.13% here for the morning. Let's go down to the daily. You'll notice that it hit that 13.6 level yesterday. It's found some resistance through the futures trading session. Go down to the 4 hour. Very strong movements here in the NAS. It's really a case of what's the worst case scenario from a technical perspective right now. It pulls back to the 13,300 level and is met by buyer demand. I would expect buyer demand be across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistance. So buyer demand will be there. You would think the next level for the NAS is around 13.8, 13.9, and then the eventual target of the inverse head and shoulders is somewhere around 14,354. I'm not really too worried about anything in the NAS. Any pullback should be met, I would think, by buying pressure. April, historically a great month for the stock markets as well, after a bit of a pullback in the previous month. So things are looking okay. I noticed ADA as well has moved to 129 during the stream right now. Money is now pumping into ADA more than anything else. It's pretty phenomenal how it all moves around. So yeah, 13.6. Movement up to 14.4. I think I had 14. Was this 14,350-ish zone, 14,4. So the inverse head and shoulders, just that's it. That's all we got to do. We just got to keep following the plan, keep following the system, find the moving average that the the US 100 is following, and then follow it up and through the session. You've got a direction at this point. Now you're looking for pullbacks in the direction and technical take profits and all of those types of things. So it looks good. Silverliner says, you rock, Tom. Thank you very much. Can you check out Uni, says Lias? Yeah, I guess we can. We probably should add Uni. Uni's legit. We'll add the Uni tether. By the way, guys, I've got an announcement. It's going to be a little while away, but I will be writing a crypto course to attach to the masterclass. That's the technical analysis masterclass. So anyone that buys the technical analysis masterclass, which I've extended for another day because I had some people waiting for it, just remember, if you buy it, you're interested in technical analysis, interested in what we're doing, you will get any additional stuff that we add to it in that course. We want to try to educate as many of you guys into our thought process, into the way that we break down the markets. And if we can do it that way, then what happens is then you guys share it through our Discords, and it's awesome because the community grows, and then we become like a little mini Wall Street. Be cool. Why not? So if you're interested in that stuff, I will be writing it. Look, it'll be like an attachment onto the already existing TA class, but I do think it'd be kind of cool. Verified news, Dave has said, $2 super chat. I got $7.50 calls next week expiring Zixi. We'll check that one in a few moments. So ADA 129.697, explosive breakout here, new high. So you think it's going to the 133? Pretty much. It's very likely to do so. ADA, when it breaks, becomes very, very explosive. At this stage, it's looking pretty damn aggressive. 129.686. Going towards the 133. And then, of course, 147 is the target many people will be looking at. XRP hovering around the dollar. I expect still a lot of selling, buying pressure around this dollar. We'll have to see whether it can break out more. Link going towards 34 again. It's been up, down, and all around. Uni trading at 32.29. So have a quick look at Uni. We haven't done this one. Series, look at the beautiful high lows. Wonder how Avalanche is going as well. So many crazy coins. 32.30 resistance. Yes. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's not like great technically, other than it's making a series of higher kind of lows. I'd be looking for a 35 breakout to get explosive, but yeah, look, it looks good. It looks like it's moving with the rest is Uni. Let's go back up here. ETH 2,115 just played with all-time highs during this session. That's the new casino course, says Truly Messiah. Yeah, it's called Welcome to Tom's Casino. No, definitely not. It's all about trying to put together a whole bunch of stuff. BNB will go to 2,000. So you're not talking about Airbnb, I assume. Airbnb. How's it doing today? Up 0.37%. You know, I've been talking about this one a little bit. Still have a target on this at around 213 from a technical level. And I still think it's looking quite okay in recovery. I think it's all about earnings, though. You're probably going to have to take something like this into the earnings. We are now 26 minutes away from the market open. We haven't even done this yet. Where the hell's our screener? Why did I not have the screener up? Let's load up the screener and find out where the actual market's at. We've been slack today. Let's load up the speculation tab, go to percentage changes here in the pre-market. What's green? What is not green? Okay, so Media Corp bad, BlackBerry bad, that's probably over now. Tilray pretty bad, down to 2182, getting close to the support zone again for Tilray. On the green, we've got GameStop 188, still hovering between 173 and 200. That is kind of boring, unfortunately, but if you get closes either way, we've talked about the levels several times throughout today's sessions. Palantir still can't get above that 24 zone, so it's a bit sleepy. AMC looks flat, and the rest. Let's go over to the screener. Wow, Bradley back coming in with the real donation here. $2, he says. Buy the class in all caps. Satisfied customer. He signed off on it. Thank you very much, Bradley. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Look, I hope that you guys really enjoy it. Hey, I give you money back guarantee on if you don't enjoy the course. If you don't learn something in it, I'll give it to you. I think it's pretty good. Some good stuff in there. Let's check out these. Whoa, what is going on? Why is my thing reset? We need 23 billion plus. We don't look at none of those pennies here. Unless we get super chatted. Then we need negative 100 EPS. And then we need 100 on the other side. All right. Is that loaded up? Should have about 493. There we go. Okay, so down today, Toyota 153. Might look at that actually on the charts. Equinix, Crown Castle, Pinduo Duo. So a little bit of down reds. And then on the other side, the greens, we've got Illumina 10.26% up. Ooh, nice. Spotify, another good green day for that, 1.35%. I found myself using Spotify quite a lot over the last year, actually. The podcast app is much better. Do you guys use the podcast app on Spotify, or do you use podcasts? Actually, let me know. What's your app for podcasts, guys? What do you use? Spotify, Apple Podcast, the other ones, I don't even know what they're called. Which one do you use? So Airbnb, actually one of the better stocks today. Teladoc, trying to find some green here. Struggling, 0.69%. So it is a little bit weak here on the open in terms of it's just not like super exciting either way. But at the same time, after what we just saw in the FANG, it can just chill. Looks like the ARK money is flowing into fintech. Let's have a look at what ARK's been purchasing. We'll load it up together right now. Load it up. It's a good website. kathysark.com. Some random made it. Get out of there. I don't know what that's all about. Trades here. We have, she bought more Twitter. She bought more Fate. She bought more Beam. She bought more TXG, TRMB, and yeah, that looks to be all the trades that were around. She's been buying a lot of Fate recently. And you know what? I've never even looked at it. Let me have a look. Fate Therapeutics. I mean, she's been purchasing this one fairly heavily throughout the whole process. So it had a great movement. Then it's pulled back quite hard, like all of the ones that she was in. Phenomenal earnings, I guess, or something just happened here that was nuts. I can tell Kathy's not looking at the technicals. She's purchasing right at the resistance. So there is the supports. There's the resistance. Obviously, she may not care. I would like to see a breakout here above these little lines, and then that can signal we have further strength in this one. But yeah, that got brutally beaten down. I would like it to get a little bit more strength, get through all of this weird noise that's going on with the moving averages here on the 4 hour. And the pre-market does look okay here. Actually, pre-market's the same, 83.66. ARK going down and fintech going up, says Bloodbath McGrath. Podcast Republic, says Stoian. Been a user since 2011. I assume that's for Spotify. I use Spotify a lot, at least 50k minutes of listening time. There we go. YouTube, says Truly Messiah. Fair enough. Spotify / the interwebs, says Peter. Spotify and YouTube, says Chronically Sam. Pretty much what I'm doing. Joshua Riley says Apple, Spotify, Apple. There's more Spotifys than Apple. And you know why that is? Because the Apple Podcasts thing sucks. They haven't done anything to it in years, and it annoys me. That's just it really pisses me off. I'm just like, this thing sucks. And I used the Spotify one and I was like, oh, it's so much better. So much better. Maybe I'm just don't know how to use tech, but I feel like that Apple podcast is terrible. Trenton Morris, US $2. What are the support levels for Harmony Crypto 1? Let's have a look at Harmony Crypto 1 here. We are 20 minutes off the market open as well, so not long now until we get there. How many likes are we at, guys? Are we at 816? Get us to 1,000. Come on, let's do it. 817 likes. That's still very good for today's session. 1,452 viewers. Can we get to 1,000? I'm ready for another hype session. Why not? $1 US tether. Now, this particular coin is not the best. And there is no trend line here, by the way. I'm just drawing to emphasize a point of a series of lower peaks coming through. Huge amounts of lower peaks coming through. An actual closure that's looking quite bearish here. Look, there hasn't been a close under 0.1476 for some time, but this is not the type of thing you want to see on your coin, because the problem with it is it's been buying pressure before. It's been buying pressure here. It's failed to make a new high, and it's make or break time on, you would think, the daily here for it. Next level, 0.12. So if it closed under here, I could see it moving down to 0.12. The series of lower highs coming down, it has me concerned. I'm always concerned with stocks like that until it breaks the sequence, and I would want the sequence broken about 0.16 from the resistance standpoint. Thank you so much for the donation. I do appreciate it. ARK is no different than anybody that wanted to make a dragon portfolio at the beginning of COVID, says Bloodbath McGrath. iTunes annoyed me, says Michael Davis. YouTube Music, says Bullgod. Inicus says Word. Can you please check TRX? I'll do it for you, Alpha T. You've asked very consistently throughout the session. So TRX, now I'm assuming that you're talking about TRX, the crypto. And if you're not, you have to tell me. Remember, if you want something, and if it's the stock and it's not the crypto and they've got similar codes, please let me know. Otherwise, I will not be able to predict which one you're looking at. TRX found support once. Is it going to continue finding support? Ooh, 2-hour time frame. Ooh, that's a hard one. It's a really hard one. Hard looking chart. Nothing much going on. I don't know where the technical support is here. Big move up. You know it's going to be there, but you don't want to hear that, I'm sure. Makes sense for it to hold a little bit here. A little bit of resistance. But this is very, very thin. This is not the type of thing I like to trade off. I don't know. I don't know on this one, unfortunately. TRX is a bit of an enigma. Big run up, very strong market. I don't have an opinion on it because every 0.1 makes a big difference. You can see that 0.15 finds resistance, 0.14 finds resistance, 0.13 finds support line, 0.12, etc., etc. So that's how I would look at it. It's all the 0.1s. Check them out. Yeah, pretty important for doing that. EKA Aurora, Singapore, $2. Thoughts on JKS solar stock? TAR. Thank you very much for the donation. JKS, Jinko. Oh yeah, Jinko. These guys make panels, yeah? I have these. I have Jinko panels and I've got N-phase switches, I believe. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Okay. Jinko. Now, the problem with the panel producers, clearly there's a lot of hype's died out of this. Is this the only one that's gone in this sector? I'm going to write this down for tomorrow's stream. Let me just write this down. I'm going to look at solar stocks again as a sector. Is the whole solar stock area being beaten down this hard? Anyone tell me? Emmanuel says, XRP, Tom, hope you're doing well. Yeah, we'll look at XRP, but we've done it quite a few times tonight. Look, $1 got reached. You know what I feel about $1. I think that it's pumpy dumpy. So it's probably going to hover around $1 for a little bit here with big resistance sell lines. As people wake up, they're like, whoa, XRP at $1. Damn, sell, 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 sell. They're getting out. It went to $1.10. It hyperextended. So I would feel like it's at that point. JKS, this is a very interesting one. I'm very interested. Solar down across the board, yeah. The stocks are always hard for me to think about investing in. The reason I have is that it's very little competitive advantage for a lot of them. I might have a look at Enphase in a minute. I might check that stock out and have a look how it's going, because that's a little bit different, I feel. Yeah, support is found. Series of this line here is what you're going to want. So let's get it in. Trend line through all of these points. I'd be looking for this point to hold, and then similar to that Apple scenario, get through 45, get a closure above here, or some kind of crazy volume spike. But yeah, 37.60 is heavy support. We saw those multiple resistances before. Things are starting to look like consolidation. And what I don't like doing is I don't like not taking the closure points here, because you get stuck in this for quite some time and it does this. And then you get your portfolio stuck in a situation that's terrible. And you think, well, I'm sitting here 6 months on and I've made 0%. Sure, you've lost 0%. Nothing's happened. And that's what can happen when you get in these consolidations after a very large move and then a breakdown. So I would like to see a new high. $50 is the resistance. Any of these, if it keeps doing this for a while and then breaks through 50, you know it's back on, and you know how fast it repriced last time. So there's a huge amount of hype in the retail community towards solar. It's very, very key to know. Let me have a look at Enphase. Enphase also getting belted a bit here. 151.20 in the pre. So Enphase is a stronger company, stronger play in America. Obviously a little bit different because it's got semiconductors. But they have a lot of... Yeah, I'll do some more research on it for you guys. I'll do some more research on that one. C3AI, please. C3AI. Ooh. Hard, isn't it? Yeah, I don't have anything good really to say about this one. Like same as last time, unfortunately. It came in, it's come in at a high valuation. The hype's come in again, and then it's sold off. This will be one that I'll probably come back to in like 12 months time and then see where it bottoms and then start to make an idea of what's going on. It's very hard to read TA. I mean, this is mostly a declining market. You can really see that here. There's just no strength in it. Everything's sold off. This was your last hope here, and now it's down at this point. You need consolidation. Look for channel consolidation on these types of ones. That's what you need. All right, we've got another donation coming in here from Michael Davis, Super Chat $2. EOS and or OXT crypto. First time for TA request. Thank you so much, Michael. Welcome to the TA request squad. This will be a crypto, I assume you're talking about, for EOS. Yep, nice breakout here. Occurred on the 30th. This was one I was watching, so it's been very, very, very nice. Let's go down to the 4 hour here for this. 4 hour 20 held once, but I don't know if it was the best time frame. Let's have a look at the 8 hour. No. 2 hour. 2 hours seems to be setting up for another breakout. 1 hour. Acting technically still, which is good. So previous resistance here. A little bit of a coil. Acts as support. Buying support. Engulf. So the engulf candle here. That's good. And now it looks to be trying to close above. Now it hasn't closed above this point, the $7 yet. Let's have a look at the 7. So 7 is no closure above 7. So get a closure above 7 and then EOS could continue doing a bit of pump here. You got to be careful with these kind of coins though, because as you know, being in crypto probably for some time, what happens is they go on mega runs and then they often dump off quite hard after that run as people start to take profits. So this is a very significant run already. You have room. You know where the room is. The room's going to be around this $8.50 line from back in the day. People will be watching this. Don't you worry about that. There'll be plenty of whales sitting there going, that's our target. That's where we want to be. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Get above 7. You start triggering into the 8 and the 850, 860 range. Look at those previous highs because it's an older coin from years ago. And be very careful around those because that's where it's going to most likely dump off. I don't think it's high enough above the previous high. So only 25% for it to be over yet, especially after it's already done that big pullback and then being met by big bullish pressure. So yeah, continue to watch Bitcoin, watch Ethereum, watch the other coins around it and see how they're running. We are 9 minutes off the open. That means it's time for us to lock down into our 4 stocks that we're going to watch into the open session, guys. Let's have a look here. Whoop. We'll change these to dark. I don't know why this again didn't save for me, but that's all right. We'll quickly set up. Let's do it. Setting it all up. 28. Okay. So we'll run the normals. We'll run Tesla down the bottom here. I think from GME standpoint, we'll just run GME. Sundial won't get the hell off my charts. That's kind of annoying. Did ADA just dump? Oh yeah, that's just broken. So ADA is moving here pretty aggressively. I don't think that's great for market open, but we'll just put that there for the time being. And we'll run the US 100 in the top corner. We'll chuck that down to a 5-minute chart. Watch it come through. We'll have Tesla on a 5-minute chart. It's always interesting to watch the first little bit. Looks like Tesla's going to open at 691.78, up 0.11%. We'll check around the markets. Pre-market here. Weakness in Ferrari, in ANSYS, in Lockheed, a little bit of weakness. And the rest are all about Trade Desk, Roku, a lot of hyper stocks actually leading. Alibaba, someone asked about that before. Alibaba 226, so it's starting to find some buying pressure after all of its failures. So yeah, Michael, EOS looks okay at this stage. Continue to follow it. How many likes did we end up getting up to? 923. Push us over the limit, guys. Let's get to 1,000 before the open. It is 7 minutes away. I think we'll probably do it anyway. Let's just do it, whatever. But if you can like it, it does make a difference. Let's get it up. I'm ready for a bit of hype. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go. Are you ready for Tuesday market open? I know I am. Cheers, guys. Let's see what happens today. Now we're truly ready for the market open. So 11:24, 6 minutes away now. Things start to get interesting. Yes, yes, yes. JJ Rap Savage just joined the Diamond Hands community. Thank you so much, JJ. You know that gives you extra boost in today's market. So I hope you have a great day and the markets work out for you. Welcome to the community. Enjoy all of the emoticons and everything else that's going on right now. Thank you very much, JJ, again. All right, so Tesla 691, pre-market 691.90. The target is let's get above 700 today for bullish strength. That would be really, really excellent. US 100, 13,596, 13.6, key zone. And if we go through here, pre is going to be 186 for GME. Okay, so our targets or zones that we've got, 120 is the bad times when it gets under 173 and closes. That's going to be where you go for. 200 plus is what you're looking for on the resistance break. Probably take it down to a 4-hour. Look for closures above there. Then you've got 225 and so on and so forth. After 225, there's a big movement that can occur after that point. 173 on the support, 120 on the second support, and 87 on the third. AMC yesterday was actually a bit better on the close, was it? What did it end up doing? Did 1061, so AMC could be on the movement towards 11. It definitely is bucking the trend here. 11 could be the target, but yeah, I still think GME rules the roost in terms of bigger amounts of sentiment and what goes on in the markets. No one asked about Castor today? No. Should put that mix on SoundCloud. It's not really, like, I pay for that song. It's a part of a song, like Racy or RACCY Into the Money, I think it's called. So on YouTube, the problem is you can't play any music. So I wouldn't mind having some music in the background, but you just can't play any because you get instantly hit by copyright. It's pretty deadly like that. All right, sorry, just looking at a couple of messages there. So we're 3 minutes away from market open. This is what's going on. We've checked the Webull. We know what's good. We know what's not good at this stage. It seems like most things are in the good category, which is nice. IWM, which was the Russell. Let's just quickly load that up. Pre-market only down 0.09 now. US 500 only down 0.22. In fact, the NAS is down less, 0.17. So not much at all going on there. We've got a donation coming in, which we can do quickly here. Full in Japan, 200 yen. Could you take a look at US oil and DOT? Yeah, we'll do both. US oil is a good one. Still in consolidation. I'm actually on the 4-hour on this and the 2-hour because I like US oil's consolidation. I really do. I think technically this is exactly what US oil needs. And I specifically like it because it's channeled. And therefore, we have the ability to see if we can proof it to the next level. So we've got resistance coming through here at 66.40. So we've got the resistance. Then we've got the support underneath 53-ish dollars. So both zones, very, very cool from a perspective of resistance, support, everything that's going on. Yeah, I quite like the consolidation that's going on through this area. So buying down here, selling up here, when it breaks, channel. US oil, very nice. One of the better channels that we've seen in some time. Now, DOT, you're talking about the crypto, 43.81. DOT is barely holding on to this 20 moving average here on the 4-hour. So I'm just looking at this particular point. I would like to see DOT blast off this. Targets were always around that 50-ish level. It's had a nice run. If it does pull down and it gets through this 20, unfortunately, I could see it coming back into the 40 zone and then finding resistance buying there. But at this stage, the 4-hour 20, 4-hour 20, 4-hour 20, 4-hour 20, 4-hour 20. Hopefully it continues buying off this level. That's the key. 1 minute now, guys, till the market open. Let's get hyped. We'll put down on this right-hand side. Guess we'll put Square. Let's see how Square opens up here today. We have 30 seconds. That probably means I should ring the bell already, so you guys get it. Here we go. Woo! Tuesday open. Yes. It's off to the races in the stock market. There we go, guys. And we will find out very soon what the market open brings. Bloodbath McGraw says, Bloodbath McGraw living up to his name. Big crash today. Verified News says, see ya. Here we go. I assume that means you're going straight into the charts, Dave. All right. There we are. We're open. So 688 here for Tesla on the open bell. Moving down a little bit to some selling pressure. US 100 also sold off relatively aggressively there. We actually dropped 0.2% pretty fast, down to 0.3% in the open. US 500, 0.25%, rock solid at 4,070. Square opens at 230. Some other hyper stocks to look at. TDoc opening at 182. Airbnb opening at 188, up 0.9%. Cool. TAP, no, I don't have TAP. What else is going on here? ADA continuously trades pretty strong at the 130, so the cryptos won't really be affected too much by market open. GME at the 187. Rocktopus 306, Canadian $2. Tom, if you were a stonk, which one would you be? If I was a stonk, which stonk would I like to be? A railroad, man. Consistent, boring, and I don't fail. So I'll go with the railroad. I never have to worry. My earnings reports are always good. So if I was a stonk and I don't want any stress, I'll be the railroad. I never have to do anything. I have a monopoly. No one asks any questions. Sounds good to me. That's the way I'll go. Railroad, railroad, railroad. What would you be, Rocktopus? I'm not sure. Rip Tesla 689. Come on, Rip Tesla 689. Pon getting carried away. Harry would never say Rip Tesla at 690. DJ says you should be Tesla, Tom. No, I'll be the railroad. It's just, you got to think about it from all angles, guys. What you're not considering is you're the stonk. So the problem is, I want to be consistent. I don't want to be the crazy rocket ship to the moon. I'll be the one that just always makes the money every single year. And that's what the railroads do. Okay, so the markets are open here. 13,573. Tesla down. Let's load up the screener. Have a quick look around the markets. Spotify still open strong, 2.85%. Roku actually up better, 2.29. Netflix, another one. The FANG doing well, 1.67. SEA, you'll be happy. Klim, it is up 1.25%. What is on the negative? Negative. Some semiconductors down a little bit. NXP down, Intuit down, Microsoft down. Not a huge amount, but still down a little bit. So some of the FANG stocks dropping some of their gains. Percentage across here. What do we got? Sundial down through. Sundial. 3% down here. Actually, all of the marijuana stocks down quite heavily. Oh, no, not Tilray. Tilray's only down 1%. And GameStop holding barely. Costs up 1.65. So, guys, that's the market coming in here today. We won't stick around too much longer for me because I will be back with you tomorrow. I'll be making a video in the morning and I've got some meetings that I need to attend. So, looks, thanks so much for joining us for the Market Open, where we cover crypto and, of course, the stock markets around the world. The crypto market seems to be the very interesting one right now, but the Nasdaq, don't be concerned. This is the retail hour of power, and you know things get really wild in the retail hour. Let's see how it all plays out. Check it out. Video tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe. And of course, if you're interested in the course, please click the links down below. Check it out. It's got a good sale on it. And we saw some people saying that they enjoyed it. So if you're thinking about which course to do, look, what can I say? It's a pretty good TA course. Catch you, everybody. Bye for now. Also, I see your comment there, Sarah. She says, you are really into rail. I am going to start calling you Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh my God.